I can plug it into any one of the originals and get C. But let's pause for a second and think, well, what happens if I had like a 2A here? Then I would just take both of these equations and eliminate another variable and then solve for the other one. So hopefully you can understand that step, but I'm just going to continue on with this one. So I have B, I'll plug it in here, and I'll just be very, very careful. I mean, it's already in my calculator, so I'm just going to say times by -2, right? Because B, which is this, times it by -2, and then I'll have some number here and 8A. I guess I'll write it down. Normally I wouldn't, but we'll see what it is. And of course, it is positive 4.3. It's what we had over here. Positive 4.318429646. And then we have this number on the other side. I'm just going to say number 4 because I don't want to write down the whole entire thing. And I want to solve for A. So I would subtract minus 4.3184299646. So I'll do that. And blah, 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 blah. So I have to put this in my calculator minus this. And then I'll get A. And now I have A. Oh, actually, no, 8A. So I have 8A. So what do I get here? Let's see. If I do this in my calculator, I get negative 1.224136801 equals 8A, because that goes away, and I'm left with that. And now I'll just divide by 8. Well, I can do that easily in my calculator because this is already there. So I just say divide by 8. And that gives me negative 0.1530171002. So I have A and B. That's fantastic. Now I need C. We're almost done. We're at the home stretch. I have A and B. So I just plug it in and get C. Now the easiest equation to use. What is the easiest equation? It's probably the third one, because I just have regular A and regular B. And I can just put those in. So actually, I'll do that. I'm going to write down number 3, which is this giant number. It's not even a big number. It's like 2.6 something. But with all the decimals, and it's fantastic glory. So I'll write that down. And that's going to equal A. What's A? Well, A was this. So, where is it? That equals A. Ooh, that's too big. So there's A. Maybe I'll draw. That's what A is. And now I need plus B. Well, B is actually negative. So instead of saying plus negative 2.152, blah, 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 I'm just going to say minus. So this would be right there. Paste, that's too big. Minus that. So that's nice. And then the last part is plus C, right? I need the plus C right there. So then I can just say plus C. So then, great. I can combine like terms. This is B, and there's C, and then this is my number 3. So really, all I have to do is combine like terms here. So I'll add those two together because they're both negative, right? You got to be careful. They're both negative, so they combine. You can just add them together and keep it negative. And now I have, well, I didn't do anything with this number, so I can just copy that. And then that still equals, I combined these two, and I got, let's see, negative 2 point, this is from my calculator, negative 2.312231923, and then plus C. I need to add this over, 2.312231923 over to this side. So I'll add that, plus 2.3 blah, 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 blah. Well, that's already in my calculator. I can, well, I'll just type this in, negative, and then add this. And I'll write that down right here. So I'll do that also in my calculator. So that cancels out, and I get negative 0.3543807. That's not a 6, that's a 0. 7, and that equals C. And now, time to put it all together. So I did all this work. I got A, B, and C. But remember, those are coefficients of my quadratic function. So really, my giant quadratic function, I'm going to write somewhere over here. That'll be f of x, first of all. Sure. F of x equals whatever a is. So that's a times x squared, right? Because that's what I have, a x squared. And then plus b x, but b is negative, so I'll actually say minus. So there's b, and then I have x because, well, it's b times x, and then plus c. Well, c is just this, so I'll just take that and put it down there. Copy, paste. I mean, it says plus, but when they're negative, it's just minus. And there you go. That is your quadratic function. If you get all of that, then you're good to use the quadratic formula. Wow, this was an extremely long video. It'll take you a lot less time, I think, or maybe the same amount of time if you're just following along and doing it as you go. That's probably a good idea. But now you know. Here's your quadratic function. Now use the quadratic formula to find the zeros, and then see if it lands in the trash can or not.